Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Oh, and a 4 of Wands. Very good. I think that we're wrapping up an old cycle, right? I think that you are, you're getting some of your previous responsibilities, tasks, loose ends, I think are being kind of wrapped up, right? But let's put this into some context. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, wow. Okay. World and universe. A lot of interesting energy. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot, and this is just one card that we select randomly. We're going to put Mr. Ed right on top. And hopefully that card can tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Let's look at the energies now. We've got major, major, major. So we have our trinity of spiritual energies, and this I think is very good. This is great. As far as fire goes, we've got a little bit of fire here with that 4. As far as the water goes, we've got some good water here. Oh, a lot of water, right? And we've got a little bit of air, and we've got the earth. This is pretty stunning here. I think there is a lot going on. Let's start with the 4. Because the 4 of Wands, to me, it has that fire and earth kind of, combination, obviously. I think it is the creative will being manifested. Simplicity, right? Orderly, organized, rhythmic, but not in an overdone way, not in an air intellectual kind of way. It is us going with the flow of creation. It's you, I think, understanding how to take your ideas and get them done. The air isn't interfering, the water isn't interfering, right? I think we're understanding this process of how to do stuff, right? How to get our will from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, right? So with this, I think that you're someone who likes to see things through until the end. You don't like to abandon things halfway through, right? And I think the more things you begin and complete, the more you are understanding your own power, understanding how your will, your intention, your spirit, your creativity can produce the kind of life that you want, that can lead to building what you want to build. Look at this earth energy here. We really are building. Right? We have Earth here. So we got 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. We have the World or Universe card down here. We're creating this perfect equilateral triangle of Earth energy. It's like we're triangulating ourselves in the cosmos, and we're understanding how to build. This is the perfect configuration of energy for you to build the kind of life that you want, for you to manifest your will. And I think that each round of this wheel, it's not a circle, it's a spiral, for one thing. I think that we are understanding how to create the life that we want, right? And the life that we want is a Six of Cups life, right? Obviously. This is joy and pleasure and beauty and harmony. This is really, I like this. I can't help but feel like there's a very significant message here, right? With this earth energy here, I wonder if we're in the process of building something right now. If you're working on a business or a family or a creative project, something that you are working on. It doesn't necessarily have to be for money. It doesn't have to be career related. Whatever your working is, your big project, I think this is big news about it, right? I think there's a really big kind of headline here that we need to try to uncover. Right? I think you've been working, I think you've been seeing progress. But in order for us to really get everything we want, for us really to get the world, to create this world, maybe we have to kind of slow down a little bit. Maybe we have to pay attention to some details. With the Four of Wands, I feel like you're understanding the process. I speak the word, things get done, right? I have the will, I have the intention, and things are produced. And so it may seem like we've got this down to a science, down to a routine, right? And so now we're just pumping stuff out faster and faster and faster. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe this is at work, right? Maybe you've figured out the trick of how to get the task, right? You get the fire and you complete it. You get the order, it's done. So we're learning how to do it faster and faster and faster and faster. That's not always better, right? That's not always better. I think that it's a way of producing a lot, but are we sacrificing quality? Are we sacrificing quality? I kind of see the sacrifice of quality here. 6, 2, and 8 of Cups. 6, 2, and 8 of Cups. This is very interesting energy today. We have gotten a handle on this machine. We know how this wheel works. And I think we are just pumping out whatever it is we do, whatever work we're doing. Our business is growing, right? Here's the 9. Let's talk about the 9 of Pentacles in yesterday's energy. I think we started to see a lot of growth in something, in a project, a business, your company, where you work, in your family, in your creative stuff, whatever it is. I think that we've started to make some progress. Now it's this idea of, I got to start pumping out this thing as often as I can to keep this growth happening, right? We want it to get as big as possible. We want something out of this world, all right? We don't want to have limitations. So I just need to do it faster and faster and faster. I need to spin this wheel as fast as I can, because I think whatever you're working on is succeeding. It is growing. You're starting to really see the potential here, and I think it's like really, really lightening you up. I see this big energy, this big brightness coming from you. And so I think in your mind, this is kind of some Gemini energy. This is a Prince of Swords. It's air on air. Kind of, to me, has that kind of the dualism of Gemini, right? This is us trying to figure out, should I focus on quantity? If I just pump these things out, my business will grow faster. My creative work will flourish, will expand faster, whatever it is we're working on. Or should I focus on quality? And see, we see that split here too. It's kind of like, well, I can do the quality, but it's going to be slower. Or I can kind of cut some corners and maybe it'll be a little faster and we'll see a little bit more growth. And this is our dilemma where where do we find the balance between trying to get stuff done fast? I've worked jobs where they don't care how good of a job you do. They just need it done, right? Quality is second tier. I've had other jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had other jobs where they want you to take your time, do things right. It's all about quality. And I kind of prefer that because it slows down my brain, you know. It allows you to kind of relax and immerse yourself in the work a little bit and really focus on what you're doing rather than just focusing on how fast you can do it. Yeah. So I think there might be a little bit of a split here. A little bit of a question of where we find that balance, right? We want the growth, yes, but we want quality, pleasurable. We want it to feel good. We want to be proud of our work. But we also don't want to limit our growth or limit our, the whatever we're doing. I don't know if this is something at work, if this is your own kind of creative projects or whatever it is. This reminds me of Breaking Bad, where Gus, I realize I'm kind of dressed like him, at Los Pollos Hermanos. If you've seen that show, I don't know. But Gus in that show would rather things be done flawlessly, even if you got to stay all night long, right? Making someone clean the grill or the grease trap at the restaurant, right? Even if it takes you all night, I want it done right. Right? He was someone very meticulous in that way. And I think that's maybe not to that extreme, but a little bit of that. And I think we're trying to find where that line is, because here is the art or temperance card. Underneath everything, this is kind of the driving force here. Honestly, I think the big news is that you are achieving this tremendous growth in whatever you're doing, whatever your project is. I think the next few days are going to be crucial. I think that as we experience this tremendous growth, we have to understand where the balance is here. Okay? The art or temperance card. It's about finding where the line is. Right. This is the mixture of perfection, meticulous attention to detail, with the kind of fury, that artistic flair. It's kind of the difference between, Taoism and Confucianism, right? Where's the nice blend? Where do we mix? Where does your art really happen? It's not in the absolute meticulous refinement of every single detail. Could be. A lot of great art is very meticulous. Probably takes decades to finish. But it's perfection down to the micrometer. Other art is just, it seems more spontaneous. It seems like there was more of a fury, right? So where is your line in what you're doing? I don't know what you're doing, right? Maybe you're working in some kind of a technical field where precision is necessary. You're making microchips. You don't want to just pump them out as fast as you can. You want to make sure they're done right? But even then, we don't want to sacrifice our quantity, right? We don't want to slow things down too much, because then one little microchip, it takes, days to make it or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to make microchips. I'm not even sure what they do. We are trying to find that perfect space where we can create our art, right? Where we have just the right balance of energies, where we are being spontaneous and we have a sense of this fury and this flair and this drama and this kind of, right brain kind of activity, quote unquote right brain. And then the left brain activity too, the logical equations, the math of it all, right? And personally, I like both. I like, the band tool comes to mind, right? They incorporate a lot of math, odd time signatures, different kind of mathematical sequences, polyrhythms, and things like this that are very meticulous, very mathematical. But they also have this flair, this kind of fury about it where it kind of seems like everybody's doing their own thing, but it creates this cohesive, it's art. To me, that's art, right? Because I could easily just take some paint and throw it against a wall. That doesn't make it art, right? And now I don't know if you're an artist. I think you are. I don't know if you would see your work that way, right? I don't know if you view it as being art. Anyway, the differences here between the 6 and the 8. This is a state, I think, of really being proud of what we're doing, of seeing that there is quality here, right? Kind of fulfilling this art, right? And maybe this is the difference too between the kind of being all business or being all just kind of art, doing it for the art or doing it for the business, right? And this is a situation that requires both, okay? With this art or temperance card, we need the business side of things. We need also the creative, artistic side, left, right brain again. In order for us to really be truly happy and satisfied and proud of what we're doing, we need a blending of both, right? Otherwise, I think we're looking at this kind of, it's disappointment. This is a little bit of a loss of enthusiasm in what we're doing. This is us kind of just almost abandoning it. Maybe we'll still go through the motions, but our heart just isn't in it anymore. We don't want to get here. We don't want to get here. The big news is your business, your work, your art, your whatever this is, it is succeeding. It is growing and stabilizing. You're doing it, right? That's the big news. And I think in order to sustain this, in order to really get this cosmic thing here, in order to really expand this beyond the limits, out of this world success, we need to figure out how to achieve this balance. Right? This is what we need to focus on. Right? This big win is here, but let's make sure we can sustain it, and let's make sure it really feels the way we want it to. Right? Because if we don't get this 6 of Cups, I feel like we're missing out. Right? We're missing out on a big part of this thing. Right? This thing could take off. It could be the biggest thing since sliced bread, but are you missing on the joy, the pleasure, the satisfaction of it? Well, that would be a shame, right? That would be a shame. Let's move to the path of the serpent now. And of course, we start with the universe or world card. This is very balanced. This is very orderly. This is kind of, again, this idea of the order and the chaos, right? The universe seems like a chaotic place. Things are just flying through space at thousands of miles an hour, right? The distances are incredibly vast, boggles the mind to think of, cosmology, astronomy. It's really wild up there in the heavens, right? Have you ever thought about it? It's crazy. But it's as if there is a harmony and an order to it. It is a controlled chaos that is, I think, very much a part of art or business, whatever this is again. It could just be your approach to life. Maybe you're not really working on any one thing in particular. Maybe it's just the overall life that you're leading. This is a card that does not want to be restricted, and this is your general energy. You don't want to be hemmed in by tradition, by convention, by rules of any kind. We have to exist within a certain set of boundaries, roughly speaking. But within this kind of, malleable container, we have a lot of freedom, right? So there's restriction, but also freedom. This is the universe or world card, which is Earth energy, but it's also Saturn energy. And Saturn says you need to have discipline. You need to have rules. right? And yes, it's true. I guess you have to know the rules before you can break them. You have to learn the technique before you can improvise, right? And I think that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to learn the technique so that you can break free from them, right? You're trying to learn the order of things so that you can transcend that order. You're trying to know what the limitations are so that you can move past them. Because there's really a desire here to expand, to go beyond the convention. Well, we have to, I guess, maybe learn where the lines are before we can start coloring outside the lines, right? And again, this brings back that thing, because I color with my daughter, right? We get the crayons out. And I try to teach her how to color in the lines. Let's work on that. Let's go inside. She's really good at coloring everywhere. And let's try to focus that. Let's try to get inside the lines, because once you know the rules, once you know where the boundaries are, it feels so good to push past them. It feels very good to kind of bend the rules, bend the lines, bend the spoon, right? And yes, I know that in reality there is no spoon. And that's part of that transcendence, that there really are no boundaries, no rules. It's all convention. But it's a consensus reality. It's a convention that is a convention. So you go too far outside of that, and I don't think we would have this perfectly balanced equilateral triangle of success, right? We wouldn't have this wonderful flow here. So it's about transcending the boundaries, pushing past the rules, but also slowing down and knowing where they are and conforming to them a little bit. I think that's how we expand. That's how we grow this business, this art, this project, this life, whatever it is. I think that's how we do it. Right? I think this is really big news for you. We've got this configuration here that it's a little bit free form, it's a little bit structured, a little bit poetry, a little bit prose. Left brain, right brain. I love it. Love it. The moon card here. This is kind of the darkness before the dawn, the darkest hour, right? This is a little bit of uncertainty in the environment. This is us back here with some of this air energy, having a little bit of this, I wouldn't call it confusion, but just this kind of tension, turmoil, right? A little bit of a headache brewing. Because we don't know what the future holds. We don't know we can't really even see our hand in front of our face when it's this dark, right? So we don't know, do I need more structure, more rules, or should I be a little bit more, a little bit more prose, a little bit more free form? This is an obstacle. This is a major arcana energy. And it kind of has the solution here built into the card. Because we don't know, because we can't see the future, you have no choice but to just act from your spirit. Act in a way that seems right to you, not in your mind, not in convention, not in any kind of logical way, but what feels right to you. What is your intuition? What does your love tell you? Right? What does your heart tell you? Because I can't see. I can't see what's in front of me. So you might as well close your eyes and just try to, what is in star, just try to kind of use the force, right? I think that was in the Matrix too, right? When Neo couldn't see, he went blind or something, right? And he had no eyes. He still had to, he's just going, just based on that kind of, that spontaneity, that effortless kind of harmony with the universe. I think that's the only way to deal with a situation like this that is relatively uncertain, right? We can't we can't predict the future. We can try to with our logic and our projections. We can say, well, hey, this has worked in the past. It will probably work the same way in the future. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it will. Maybe that's why we've got this Two of Cups here in the position of what we don't want. Maybe we don't want to leave this wonderful trifecta of earth energy. Maybe we don't want to leave this to kind of like what we might think of as just a gut feeling or an intuition, or, I'm just going to close my eyes and kind of trust in things. Right? So maybe we're rejecting that kind of idea, right? But this card's all about love. This card is all about devotion. And I think it is through this devotion, through this water energy, that we will come to understand, or we'll come to maybe not see our way forward, but feel our way forward, right? Feel our way forward. I think that's a different, we're not able to really reason our way out of it. And we certainly can't see our way out of it. We don't have a lot of fire energy here anyway. But what we do have is a lot of water energy. I think we need to feel the way forward. And I think that we may find, like we have up here with this Eight of Pentacles, that we need to, at least temporarily, slow down and look at the details of things. Let's look at what is around us. Let's look at what is here right now. Right? Let's look at all the growth that we've already attained. And maybe this is kind of looking at what worked in the past, the growth in the past, the activity in the past that has led to the current state of growth. And maybe that is maybe that is true. Maybe that is the way that we know that this is going to be for certain. It's going to continue at least in this manner, right? We know what to expect to a certain degree. But there's still this unknown element. And I think the unknown element is related to this water energy, right? This idea of, I know that this business is going to earn, roughly a certain amount of money or whatever, but I don't know the way forward to really achieve what I wanted, this feeling that I want, right? What the real success is for you. Internally, right? Spiritually. Very interesting. I'd like to see what the mystery card is now, because I feel like everything really is, I think everything is really functioning beautifully. I think the only issue now is your relationship with it and what kind of art you are creating, what kind of a strategy or approach are we going to put into this so that we can activate this really wonderful water energy, right? Because again, just this earth success on its own is not enough for you, right? This is just something, it's a machine. It's just functioning and it's producing results. We want to feel it. We want the spirit to be within there. We want to really connect with it. We want it to be soul satisfying, right? Not soul sucking, right? So let's see what this mystery card is, yeah. I think maybe a 3 or a 6 of Cups. I think some more water energy to show that, we are going to get that kind of connection with it, that kind of satisfaction out of this work, out of this, I think, really huge success. Maybe we need another universe or world card. Maybe we need more emphasis on this. The idea that we're trying to transcend just the kind of routine business of things. And we're trying to break through boundaries, that we don't want to be restricted, right? That we want to escape the Earth's gravity and just expand infinitely, right? Yeah, we want something out of this world. We're not just satisfied with success. We want something that is literally out of this world. Yeah. Maybe that's what we have. Yeah. Yeah. Got the world. We've got the world. So I feel like we understand the limitations and we're transcending them. Right? We really are, we want to experience something that has that kind of, otherworldly or out of this world kind of vibe to it. We want something special. We want something that feels really just amazing. Right? Big headline. Everything is going to work. Everything's going to be successful. This is going to work out. Yeah, you might have to figure out, attention to detail and quality over quantity, and you might have to kind of tweak the way you're conducting your business. But as far as your experience goes, as part of your satisfaction, your soul satisfaction, I think, out of this world. I think we're breaking free from any restrictions here. And this is the restriction both on the physical success of this, but then also on any restriction on your creativity, I think, is going to, you're going to transcend any limitation. I think that's the big news here, that it is out of this world. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, click on the link above or below in the description box. New readings come out every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next reading. I want to thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me read for you.